Welcome back to Track Us Down. If you're just finding us, I'm Monique.
And I'm Doug.
Today we're sharing some tips that we've learned for working with a real estate agent. And whether you're in the market for a fortress or a castle, or maybe just looking at a house or apartment or condo in Portugal.
These are must-know tips.
It's early June and we're in Funchal and we're heading to a little known spot. We don't really hear much about it, but it's a castle and it's called São João Batista de Pico.
It's really old. It's from the 1600s and it's tucked away in a cute little neighborhood. So let's go have a look. Wow, look at this. These are some old stone gates.
This fortress was built in the early 1600s and it maintains its original structure. It's free to enter and it's just a nice place to wander around. There's not too many people and it's an amazing views of the Bay of Funchal.
The views here along the ocean are just amazing. We're down close enough to the bowl of Funchal and you just have this amazing view down over Old Town and down over the marina. Listen to those birds too. Our channel is all about moving abroad and living a better second half of life. And part of moving abroad may be buying property in a foreign country. Moving abroad and buying property in a foreign country can be very daunting and very stressful, especially if you don't know the language and the customs and the ways. So it's important to know some of these things ahead of time just to kind of ease the way and make it a lot easier.
So let's go. Get a good reference or recommendation. That's the first tip. Along with that, do your research. Look up that company online. Look up that real estate agent online and see what's available to see. Ask for references. See if you can find somebody else who's used that real estate agent and if they were pleased.
These steps can get a little bit slippery in the rain. They go back to the 1600s. One of the next most important things to do when you first come to Funchal, if you're looking for property, is to do a Zoom call with your real estate agent before you come. You get to know your agent before you come over. They know your expectations, they know your budget, and it feels good to get to know the person that you're gonna be working with so closely over a week or so while you're here, and it's not the first time meeting them. It builds a really good connection with that person, and they get to know what your wants, your needs are, and your budget, and they can set things up ahead of time for you. It makes all the difference.
Our next tip is to be realistic about your budget and about how much money you actually want to spend in Portugal, and be honest with your real estate agent. There's no point looking at properties that are well above your price range. You want to be looking and narrowing in on the properties that you actually can afford. So be realistic and know that properties have gone up, especially here on Madeira. The property values have increased and you need to know that before you come.
Another important tip is to get a working knowledge of the area you're looking at before you come here. If you've seen our video of the 5 areas of Funchal that most people are looking to buy, rent, or Airbnb in, you'll see that there are distinct differences between all of them. Like we say in our video, there's something for everybody there. Some of them are flatter, some of them are more walkable, some of them are more historic and old town, some of them have a sweeping view, and that's just in Funchal. If you extend that beyond into the island of Madeira, places like Caleta, Ribeira Brava, Seychelles, those kind of areas, they are all distinctly different. And there's something for everybody here. If you're looking for something rural or hilly, they definitely have that. If you're looking something for more nightlife and busy, they definitely have that as well. So it's important to get to know the areas of Funchal, the areas of Madeira before you come. And of course, that goes for the rest of Portugal as well. Portugal is so diverse. There are so many areas, beautiful areas that many people are moving to, whether it's Porto or Lisbon or Algarve or anywhere in between. It's important to get to know those areas as well. Maybe have a bit of a working knowledge before you come so you have an idea of what you're looking at and what you're getting into, and maybe you can rule some out before you even get there.
The next tip that we want to share is to be open to advice from your realtor. Your real estate agent knows their area, whether that's Funchal or Madeira or even any other area in Portugal. Once you start working with someone, be open to their advice and suggestions. They often know little tidbits that you just couldn't possibly know. And even though you've gotten your working knowledge up of the areas and you know how much money you want to spend, you also need the advice of the realtor. So work together with the realtor.
So of course, things are done a bit differently here in Portugal, on Madeira, in Funchal, as far as finding a place and negotiating. But it is important to know that you do have room to negotiate here. Follow your agent's advice. They know the local market, they know what's acceptable. Generally, if you're going to come in 100,000 less, it's going to be more of an insult to the seller and it's not going to be even responded to. So listen to your agent's advice, get to know your agent ahead of time and follow their advice when it comes to making an offer and the potential for an offer and how much wiggle room there is. But it is possible to negotiate. Follow your agent's advice and maybe you'll find yourself a great deal. And the next important tip is to check out Idealista. Idealista is how we found our place here in Funchal. There is no MLS here. This is as close as you're going to get. And as far as scams, there's few and far between on Idealista. This is where you're going to get your most bang for your buck. You can look at it daily, anything that's newly posted, and get on it immediately. And you do have to get on it immediately because things go fast. Idealista.pt gives you an idea of what the type of places are that you're looking at in Funchal or on Madeira, the type of builds they are, the type of areas, and it's a great resource for being on top of while you're here. And if you see something you like, send examples of those to your agent that you've made contact with and had a Zoom call with so they have an idea of what you're looking at as well. Idealista is great.
Something super important to note is to be loyal to your real estate agent. If they're working on your behalf as a buyer's agent and they are looking for properties for you, especially if they looked for a rental for you first of all, that is not where they make a lot of their money in finding you a rental, but they are building a rapport and a relationship with you. So once you've done that, make sure you go back to that same real estate agent, especially obviously if you were happy with them, and be loyal to them. Also be willing to give your reference for them for someone else, because that helps everyone when we all share quality work that we've had.
It's getting pretty hot out now, so let's head to the adjacent Fort Cafe. If you're interested in looking at property here in Funchal or anywhere on Madeira and you want a really good agent, a good recommendation, either join us on Patreon or send us an email and we'd be happy to give you our recommendation. Our agent gets so many great reviews from the people that we've recommended her to, and she will spend the time with you online doing a Zoom call and getting to know you, and she'll spend the time with you here in person during your scouting trip. And that is so important to have that relationship. So if that's something you're interested in, just let us know.
Thanks for spending some of your day with us and following along. And as usual, check back in and
track us down.